Tim Wilson, and Tim is going to give a speech titled Evaluating with Ease. Oh, okay. Excuse me, that was my fault. Tim is giving segments of a speech, and this is the middle segment of the speech. So if you feel like there is something missing, there is. There's a first and an end. This is the middle. Tim, evaluating with ease.
This is it. This is what you've been waiting for. Don't blow it. Right here, the middle section of your evaluation is what Pat is the sweet spot. Pat's cut off all the rest of the evaluation so we can just focus on the sweet spot because it's so, so important. But there are two basic mistakes, really major mistakes people make in evaluating when it comes to this important sweet spot, the middle part of your evaluation speech. One mistake a lot of evaluators make is they see somebody and they see them talk and they think, wow, whoa, that was so good. And they give an evaluation something like this. Wow, that was so good. I really don't know what to say. I loved your organization. You had a beautiful beginning, middle, and end. I understood what you said. You pulled the audience in. They're really excited about it. There's really not much you can do to improve. I mean, just keep up the good work. There's one problem with this evaluation style, is that your speaker really doesn't need Toastmasters to get this sort of an evaluation. In fact, if they went into their bathroom, went up to the bathroom mirror, and said, wow, you are such a great speaker. Just keep up the good work. They'd have about the same effect going for them in terms of evaluation. So you don't want to do that. Then there's the other side, the scorched earth approach. And it goes something like this. Speaker, I don't know who gave you that idea, buddy. You had no beginning, no end, and I just prayed for that conclusion. I mean, I understand why you're in Toastmasters. You really ought to be in rehab. That's what you ought to be. I mean, come on, just give it up now, or just let's honestly admit that there is no talent here in the house, all right? Oh, where do I count the ways? Let's see. No beginning, no middle. You were kind of lackadaisical. You were nervous. I don't know why you were nervous up there. And I just didn't get the point. So, you know, continue working on it, but really work harder next time. No, I get it. It's that tough love kind of thing. It's this idea that, you know, if you really don't mention those things that people have to improve on, they're not going to improve. And if you mention all that fluff of stuff that, you know, they do well, they're just going to focus on that, and they're never really going to build themselves. And I understand why people feel that way. And I felt that way for a while, too. That it really had to be tough in evaluation. It's really important. And one day I was talking over my Toastmasters member, and I was talking to him about evaluations, the importance to be tough in evaluations. And he said to me, Tim, you're forgetting an important part, is that we grow from our strengths. And if we don't know what our strengths are, we're not going to grow. I thought about that. And I realized it's true. We do grow from our strengths. So if you just emphasize all the areas people have to improve, and you don't mention some things that they're doing well, they have nothing to build on. You can't build if you don't know what your strengths are. So in evaluations, I think it's very important to be balanced. Exactly as Pat said, I recommend 3 strengths, 3 areas for improvement. And it does bring up a challenge. And people say, but they're so good, I don't know what to say. Or they're so bad, I don't know what they can possibly do except for just hope that they get better. The problem usually is when evaluators get to that situation, it's either so good they don't know what to do or so bad they can't mention anything good, is that you aren't asking the right questions. So when you're evaluating somebody, you really ought to be asking questions. And there's a whole bunch of questions you should be asking. That's why you now have a handy list of questions. Every time you're evaluating, if you don't know what to say, if somebody's so good or so bad, you don't know quite what to say about them, just take a look at the questions. Questions like, are the visual aids easy to understand? The logical flow of ideas. Its conclusions stick in your mind. The speech points clear and easily understandable. Just a list of questions to get your mind going. And some questions you'll answer, yeah, those are strengths. Other things you'll say, no, this is something really that could be improved, could be developed. Now, in doing an evaluation and suggesting areas for improvement, a common misunderstanding is that that means something that a person did wrong. And it doesn't mean that. In fact, all you really need to suggest is something they could do differently. If they stand in one place, suggest they move. If they move, suggest they stand. If they've got a lot of details, maybe they ought to be more concise. If they've only got one point, maybe they need to diversify out. Remember, as an evaluator, you're not giving them the answer revealed from above, what they should be doing. You're just giving them new things to think about. Areas for improvement, areas for development, really just areas to think about. Use what you want, throw out the rest. And that's evaluation. You want to make sure that you mention some areas for growth, some areas for improvement, you balance things out. Make sure you have a sense of what your questions are. And if you're at a loss for somebody who's so good or so bad, you don't know what to say, go through the checklist, check out the questions, get the mind going. Some will be strengths, some will be areas for improvement. Now, some people just stop there. And tonight we're going to have to stop there. But if you do that, you deny the people the opportunity, the audience the opportunity to develop and grow and build from your evaluation speech. Remember, every speech you give has to have a point and has to have a benefit for your audience. So if you leave out the final part, the conclusion, then you're really leaving out what the audience can do to help themselves. And that's really the most important part, the takeaway part. So, in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about how you conclude and enhance your speech through that third part of the evaluation speech. Madam,
You should all know that Tim is an award-winning evaluator.